All right. Good morning, everyone. I think you might noticed the announcement that I posted during, and also I'm sure you received some announcement from the university. The Monday's class needs to meet the May 15th. For that, I would like to give you final exam on the May 15th. But I received a few emails from the students because the students already planned to leave or visit their home country, knowing that I originally told you that the final exam is May 5th, right? So a lot of conflicts. So the best resolution that I made is as follows. I set up 3 possible days. So I will be here all those 3 days. So you can choose one and take your final exam. So I proposed May 5th, which is the original day. Those who already planned to leave the country, or if you want, take the exam earlier, or May 12th, which is our regular meeting. I thought that was the last meeting in this semester, but the university asked us to meet one more time, May 15th. So I chose all of those 3 days for your final exam days. You can select one day, and you need to let me know. So I'll poll your choice toward the end of today's lecture, and also next week. So if you decide which day that you want to take your final exam, you need to let me know so that I'll mark here and I'll prepare your final exam on that designated date. All of those 3 days, the exam meets 9 a.m. for 1 hour and a half. Okay? So 90 minutes exam. Exam will be on paper and pencil. No electronic devices allowed. No cell phones, no computer, no nothing. Only paper and pencil, which means it is not really hard. If I give you open book and open resource test, then sometimes it is harder. So easy questions will be asked to you. Till that time, this is the schedule that we will do today. Lecture, text processing and search, the Linux command that you can process it in text, and also some of the commands is very strong to search on your Linux platform, which is one of the essential techniques that you need to gain before you graduate, and that skill sets will be, I think, something that if you want to join some investigation teams, okay, so some of the digital evidence may be able to searched and found from large infrastructures, big infrastructures. So that's what we want to do. Next week, the regular expression. But that will be asynchronous online, which means you do not need to come. We do not meet. You do not need to join the Zoom. Zoom will not be running. But my lecture will be recorded at my side in advance and also posted, so you can check it out at your convenience, okay? So you don't need to. Reason I'm doing that is regular expression is a little bit, it's not really difficult, but maybe to some of you. So this is something extra, regular expression. But it's very useful, believe it or not. Okay. For example, if you want to find the email address from large volume of the files, then what you need to do? Although you know how to search electronically in Linux, but the idea in regular expression is how can you search all possible email address from the documents, although you do not know what emails supposedly, but if you want to find it, hey, give me all the email addressed in the large volume of documents, or phone number, or URL, whatever that could be expressed regularly. You may think of that email address that is somehow some of the regulations, right? If you see email, then there is a @ sign and ending with the top level domain, which means .edu, .com, .gov. All right. If it is a telephone number, then 9-digit. If it is in USA, but some other countries, their telephone number maybe 10 digits or 12 digits. And another regulation to form a telephone number is if you want to communicate overseas, then there is a country code, right? So that is the regulations. So take that regulation into expression. So that is a little bit of techniques needed. That is what I'm going to explain next week. So it is not simply you can understand quickly, like I showed to you here on Linux command. So a little bit theory and a little bit practice. So I will record it and post so that you can check out at your convenience. All right, and then last lecture of this semester and this month as well, that is a shell scripting. Shell scripting is really, really powerful coding in Linux command. So some the significant yet powerful activities in platforms possible. So that is shell scripting. So shell scripting is a little bit like codings, but not much like Python, okay? But similar. And then last three here, that is the final exam, okay? So you guys have three options. All right. Any question about our schedule plan for the rest of this semester?
It's not a schedule plan, I'm just asking if there's a review sheet, if it says it on paper. Is there a review sheet? Like, review or something?
Yeah. I think that is a good idea. Yeah, you can. I'll allow you to bring cheat sheet. Okay, cheat sheet, 1 page cheat sheet. No font size required. If you want a small size, fine. Double side, fine. Edge side, if you can, fine. Okay.
Sorry, by any chance would you be able to post the topics that are going to be on the exam, just so we know what to study?
That's why I said April 28th, we'll have a review sessions. So please come and we'll discuss more about the final exam on that session. Types of questions, most likely multiple choice, true, false, and short answer. Okay, then let's move. Okay. This is today's lecture. Text processing and search. We'll discuss search next in my recording next week as well, but that search is something in regular expression, not specific the target expression. Not search keyword, but some patterns. Patterns needs to be mathematically, it's not mathematically, formally expressed. That is for next week. All right. Recap. Remember next week we did to check the network monitoring. So I will remind you of that. For example, if we do sudo iftop enter, then it is supposed to gives us some of the network traffic informations, right? But it doesn't give us anything, right? That is mainly because this command takes the traffic signals from Ethernet cables, not Wi-Fi signals. So if you want to do Wi-Fi signals, then you need to do sudo iftop and then -i, that is for options from wireless. And then you need to put specific wireless device. By default, that is WLAN 0, wireless LAN 0. If you do that, then you can see some of the signals, right? Some of the DNS coming from 192.168.7.19. These last three things are from our router, and this is myself here, my Raspberry Pi 7.8. This is mine, and 7.18, that is from my laptop. My laptop is 192.168.7.18. My Raspberry Pi is 192.168.7.8. So from my Raspberry Pi to my laptop, 190, this kind of traffics, right? From myself to, from my laptop back to my Raspberry Pi, still there is some traffics. Why do I have traffics between my laptop and Raspberry Pi? Why? Can anyone say why? That is mainly because PNC, right? My laptop now looking at my Raspberry Pi here, right? Through wireless. I don't really work on with any extra terminals, but PNC communications. So instead of using extra terminal, I'm using my laptop terminals. To do that, I need to do VNC, right? So I have somewhere here. Yeah, look at this. This is VNC. See my mouse? So this is VNCs. And this is my laptop, right? Therefore, we have some traffics here. Okay? Is there other similar command available? Yes, there is, right? So if we see here, not only if top minus I, but nload. Remember that for this left-hand side, this is for the Ethernet, so physical connections. So network traffic over physical connections can be monitored by this left side command. If it is wireless connections, then right-hand side, the purple box here. So using the same iftop command, if we put there option I, then that is for the wireless communications. If we want to see more, then we can see manual iftop, then we may be able to see that. Display bandwidth with, usages on interface by host. On interface, which means if I use wireless interface, then I can capture, I can monitor the network traffics carrying over the wireless interface, right? So there's some options. If you go down, -H for help, and let's see, minus I, that is interface. So we put that interface. One of the interface is WLAN 0. That's what we are using, right? So you may be able to learn it. And also, there is nload. So let's take a look at nload. Nload. If we do only nload, then by default, it is looking at the Ethernet traffics. Therefore, we do not have anything. But if we do nload and WLAN 0, then we may be able to see some. Here, incoming, some of the incomings keep changing, right? So this left-hand side, that is for Ethernet network traffic. Right-hand side, that is wireless the network traffics. You can check the availability of wireless then ifconfig WLAN 0, then you may be able to see whether you have that interface, right? Quickly. So let me interrupt that. And if you want to see IW config WLAN 0, then what do I have? On my Raspberry Pi, I have IEEE 802.11, and then SSID is MT-CIS Lab Wi-Fi. Bit rate 72.22 megabit per second. Transmit power 31 dBm, whatever that unit is, and retry short limits and power management on. Link quality. This is receiver invalid. Yeah, transmit access retries. Yeah, some of the information, device information, network card information, network interface information, I would say. Or you can do IW DEV for device, WLAN 0, and then link. That is another command. Then you can see, similar information. You have that frequency 2412. That is that frequency, right? 2412 gigahertz. This is megahertz, 2412. And then some of the receiver transmission and signals. All right. So this is check the availabilities. And another thing that you can get is if you want to get the TCP dump, then TCP dump, that's communicated through the wireless LAN. So -I for interface, WLAN 0, then you can dump the TCP traffics. Okay, if you set up TCP, the protocols, then you can see this. And then next, in the block here that I marked, this is a very, very powerful tool, AirCrack NG, AirMon NG, AirDump NG. This is very, very powerful tools. Usually, cyber security professionals use that when they are investigating wireless communications. But unfortunately, as I mark here, the Raspberry Pi Model 3, 4, and 5 do not support monitor mode or packet injection, which is required by the airmon.ng. So it is not available. Actually, I tried with that. I installed AirCrack NG and everything required, and waiting to see the monitor wireless communications, consuming hours, and then I finally found out Raspberry Pi does not have. Okay. All right. Network Manager, NW, Network Manager, CLI, Command Line Interface. So NM CLI, device status. That is another very interesting command that I want to share with you. So NM for Network Manager, CLI for Command Line Interface, and I want to look the device status. Then you can see WLAN for Wi-Fi connected through that SSID, and then loop back, that is of course available, 127.0.0.1, right? And then some others. Ethernet not available. Therefore, Node and IFTop as is not available. And then another one is NMCLI device Wi-Fi list. Then we can see, yeah. SSID, this Mavericks, this is more powerful, right? So network device gives us not only something that I connected, which is MT CIS Lab Wi-Fi, but it shows Mavericks Wi-Fi, and then Solstice Pod, that is for the screen in front of this classrooms, upper right corner, that is that one. And then some others. KBC YL24, I do not know what it is, but that is also available, right? And more. Yeah, 24 available right now. That comes from network command line interface for device status checking. And this is also very interesting things. Watch -N1. So watch is great command that you may like. So you can find out if you see man watch, then it shows executed program periodically showing output full screen. So watch followed by your regular Linux command. Then this watch command execute this program periodically. Okay? Remember that the command that we are looking at is NMCLI. So I am looking at NMCLI. This is the command that I want to do. Okay? Very similar to this. So NMCLI -F, I want to get the information only in use, SSID, signals, those 3 columns only, 3 fields from device, Wi-Fi, and list. This is my command, like this, the one that we looked at. But all of this can be controlled by this watch command. So watch -N1, see here, N, that is an interval. How often are you going to execute that command? So in this case, I want to execute this NMCLI in each every second. That's what it is. Okay? Remember, if we do this is a command, okay? So when I do this, it comes up, but one time, right? That's it. This time I have a 26, right? So is there anything that I can do each every second, redo that? Then you need to do watch -N and each second, NMCLI, and I want to see only some field in use, comma, SSID, comma, signal, and then device, Wi-Fi, list. Then so one time it shows only 3 columns, right? But every second, refresh. I don't see really refresh. Yeah, now you see the refresh, right? Probably this is each minute, not the second, probably. Okay, I think there's one means maybe doesn't refresh quite often, but anyway, it refresh, right, by itself. So NMCLI is not really a live command, but if we want to make it live means refresh every interval time period, then you can include another command called watch. Okay, watch -n and number. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to use this, for example, IFTop or nload. Remember that last week we checked the internet performance, right? IPOP3. So I want to check IPOP3 and see and monitor the traffics. Okay. So what I will do, I already set up here. I can do redo here on Raspberry Pi, and I have here, not this. I have, where is, okay, I want to bring, okay. So this is my laptop monitor, and this is a Raspberry Pi monitor. I want to set Raspberry Pi as a server. So IPOP3 -s, that is for server. So I run it. So server is listening, and I set up, this is a client -c from, so my laptop is a client to connect 192.168.7.8, which is the IP of my Raspberry Pi, right? So if you will see here, then it shows me, okay, here it shows me 192.168.7.8, right? So I want to communicate to the server, which is Raspberry Pi, from my laptop. And meanwhile, I want to look at it, right? So let's say nload w len 0. Okay. Right now, not really any specific package running. So if I communicate from my laptop client to Raspberry server, then see here some of the incoming traffics coming in. And it is done. Done. Therefore, that is done. So these many signals coming in and going out, right? So this guy is monitor my communication in that way. That is end node. End node while my laptop and a Raspberry are communicating. We can see that using sudo iftop and -i wlan0. Same thing. Right now, this is from my laptop, from my Raspberry Pi to laptop. This is some of the traffic signals. So if this guys captured some of the signals because I am using VNC. In addition to VNC, when I run this IPOP3, then we will see more. So more volumes, right? What I want you to do, this is the homework assignments, okay? So while you guys need to set up the server of IPOP3 on your Raspberry Pi, like this window, okay? And also I want you to set up another window that runs for iftop, that's for monitoring. And also from your laptop, I want you to run. So what you need to first start the server. Server needs to be available. Server is now listening to any possible signals from outside. So I set up the client, which is my laptop. So you can do this, and you set up here. You starts the monitoring systems, which is iftop, and then you can you run this and showing all of this. You can do screenshot. Let me see if I can do screenshots. Is it? No screenshots, maybe. Yeah, in this case, I can see the screenshots. Right, this is the screenshots. So your screenshot needs to show all of this somehow. Or you can make a short video that is much nicer, so that I can see something going on your IPOP3 server, iftop monitoring program, and also IPOP3 client. So I want to see all of those three at once. But if you can show that in short video, that is much better. If you cannot, simply screenshot that shows some of the evidence of those, right? Like this. This is a good screenshots that can show. Any question so far? Okay. So that is something we recap. And also that this is very, very useful for you guys to use, okay? And this is something that I already showed to you. And text view. Cat, more, less, head, tail. I know you guys, we looked at this already, right? Less is recommended than others, because if you do less, then you can scroll in both directions. You can scroll back and scroll backward, forward, if you have a long version of your files. Okay. I do not have any long versions, right? What I want to do here, yeah, maybe index. So let's index.html. Remember that index.html that we get from scitesecure.org using wget or curl command. So that is this. That's what we did last week. So if we want to see that, that is a long file, right? If you see index.html, then this is pretty good size of data. But if you do cat index.html, then go quick, right? If you do more, then this is screen by screen, only forward. But if you do less, you can go this forward, and then you can go backward as well, right? So that is good. So this is a little bit of a text processing that we already know. And then search. This is very, very important. We know grep. We looked at this, right? Grep. If you can grep can search the text pattern from a file. From a file. For example, I want to bring that here. So grep Yoon from index.html, then you can see that appears Dr. John Yoon, and for any comments, please contact John Yoon, right? That is possible. Or if you want to see, I want to see where this pattern appears. What line? Which line? I want to see the line number. Then you can see grep -n, Yoon, any keyword, or you can see Mercy, index.html, then you can see all of those, right? In line number 131, there is a Mercy. It says, welcome to Mercy College Cybersecurity. And line number 251, Mercy Cybersecurity Strength. And line number 280, Mercy Cybersecurity Night, celebrating National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Mercy students have participated in cyber team, ranked high, so on and so forth. Okay, so from from a file, if we want to find any pattern, then you can use the function grab. If you want to find, this is a pattern finding. If we want to find the file itself, then you can use find. Okay, I want to find by name, so find where from myself. By name, I want to search. I want to find this the file itself. For example, it says name. You can find the specific name. For example, dot -rc. I want to find this specific name, dot -rc. Then you can find it, right? That is a dot -rc. But if you want to see using wildcard, star.txt, is there any file ending with the extension txt? Oh, I have so many, right? Start from myself. Okay, where? Here, /home/pi. Start from my home. There are that many txt files available. .txt options available. If we want to find it from, for example, entire system, then you need to do find slash. Slash means that is top, right? I want to find anything from the top. It search entire file systems. So it takes longer, right? And some of the folders, some of the directories are prohibited because you do not have a privileges. So we can see that. What is the response of this? When you have here dot, then simply everything is under me so that I can find it. If you do slash, then that is a wide search. Look at this. Hit enter. Many of this says permission denied, right? If we have so many here, so many lines, permission denied, you may want rather than this permission denied, is there anything that I want to find out? From here, I want to find out real txt. Then you may say, hey, is there anything grab? So that I can see only star.txt. Still everything. So what you need to do here, this is something I want to redirect. Number two means there is an error. If there is any error like this, I want to direct it to %1 means this is a like a pointer but reverse. What it means is that I want to redirect the output about the error to the regular output. Number 1 means regular, number 2 is errors, okay? But if you have here n% sign, that means number 1, but we need to specify, you see what, I want to explain in this way. If you want to save error only, saying error.txt, this is a file, right? By default, that is number 1. So that find that is regular output. Say this is I want to see find regular. So it can be saved that. So find the regular text. It is saved. So regular one's saved there. If we want to see the error only, then I can see find the error. So error is only saved there. So find the error.txt, find the regular.txt. Find the regular txt, find the error txt. Okay, so cat find the regular.txt, then you can see all of those found, right? And if you see find the error.txt, then only the errors. All right? So my question here is, can we using the grep in one command, while I am doing this, remember the pipe is outcome of the previous command will be the input to the next command. This is a previous command, right? Find, I want to find all the files with the extension txt. That's a command. Next command is a grep. Grep means I want to search star.txt, any the text, any pattern from a file, because this guy gives me a file, output file, right? So this grep wants to get that patterns from that output files. In that way, we can use pipe, right? So I can do together, but it shows all of that error messages as well. So what I need to do then, rather than giving that error message into regular output, I want to push it back to the original, the finding outputs. And from there, I want to grep star.txt. Hit enter, then I can see. Let's see. So that I made. Let's see here. What I want to do is, something that I do not want, -b. So what I want to do here, in grep, if you do -b, then I want to grab everything but if there is any lines with permission denied. I do not want it, but I want to other than that. Then I have only text files, right? Watch this. That is explained here in the next slide here. Okay. Very similar to, in this case, I want to look at bash RC, but I do not want to do, this guy wants to find out from the top name, similar to this, right? And I use this. So what does this means? That means redirection, right? When you do redirect, then if you say number 2 and greater than sign, then it redirect out the errors only. Double greater than sign means I want to append rather than creates. But if you do 2 greater than sign ampersand number 1, it means redirect standard output to the same as the standard error to the same as standard output. So without this, then still that permission error message is available. So I want to put that all the error messages back to the regular output files. I want to grab from there. So all of that permission denies will be so many things. Right? Permission denied disappeared. Do you understand that? It's a little bit tough, but you can do it line by line, command by command. Then you can understand that. Okay, try this first, and then try that separately. Like if we want to do, I want to grab everything but permission denied from find err.txt. Remember that find err.txt, it contains all the error messages, right? See if there is any. Of course, there is no nothing, right? But because if it has a permission denied, then I stored that error messages on this file. Therefore, all the content stored in this file has permission denied. But if I want to grab anything except that permission denied, then nothing retrieved. Makes sense, right? So keep in mind, grab, then it wants to find some patterns from a file. Find means I want to find a file. Search file, that I can use find. Search keyword from a file, then I use grab. There's another command, locate. Locate is trying to find out, rather than searching the file system, which takes longer, right? So it creates a database internally, and looking at that database quickly, therefore it may return That's what I say. It's a quick find the files. But Raspberry Pi version of a Locator does not create a database. Therefore, this does not help. But instead, we can use which is. Then you can find out, right? Which is, that is another command. If you want to see the manual, then man, which is, there's no manual. Which is available or which is not found. Then you need to do sudo apt install which is. Oh, there's no packages. No, oh, this is not available. So do not use this. So we looked at this. Paging, formatting, and slicing. This is another good one, right? Okay, NL. Some files, I think you may see that issue when you execute some of your coding files, for example, Python or Java. Then it error message says line number some you may have an error. Then sometimes you may say, oh, should I count from top? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there any way that I can see the line number quickly? That is NL. So for example here, you have very long lines. Index.html, for example. Then if you do ln index.html, then you can see NL, not ln. NL index.html. Then you can see the line numbers, right? These are the line numbers. All the line numbers. More clearly, line number ln, find the regular .txt, then no, number line, not line number. Number line, find the regular. Then you can see the line numbers clearly. So line number sometimes useful, right? Because you see the line numbers. Cut and AWK, SED. Those three are very, very useful. Particularly cut. If you want to extract some specific columns out of a long list, then you can use cut. Cut minus D means delimiter. So I'm using the cut based upon colon, and minus F means field. Field number 1. First field, I want to see the first field only from this files. Okay, remember that we can do cat dot etc dot password. Then you may be able to see all the lines. For example, POP3 that I installed, MySQL we installed, and JUN I created, right? And Pi that's by default created. So all of those are there. And then if you see this clearly, then there is a colon. Jaeyoon colon followed by X means about 30 years ago, this is your login name, colon, and then password. Password explicitly stated here. What happens? About 30 years ago. You can hack anyone that you want by looking at password file. Let me ask you, password file. Password file is very, very sensitive data, right? Because it has user ID and password. See what it has. It has ID 1001, the group ID, and also it has full name, whatever up to here, and it has also home directory. Home directory is /home/Jaeyoon, and then finally it has the shell. So what kind of shell this guy is allowed to use? Then /bin/bash. Bash shell is used by this guy, right? Those are all sensitive data. If it is a sensitive data, then it should be protected, right? My question to you guys. It is sensitive data, right? Why it is not protected? Why it is still open to everyone? Why? If you see here -ls -l etc password, then oh my God, everyone can read it, right? If it's some sensitive data, then remember that permission denied. I have lots of permission denied, right, previously. But password file probably more sensitive than lots of other files which are already set for permission denied. Why password WD file is not protected? That's my question to you. Tell me why. If it is so sensitive, then it should be protected. The answer is this. If it is protected, then you cannot see your information. If you cannot see your information, when you log in, that's your session, right? Your session is not allowed to access password WD. Then there is no way to verify your credentials. Okay? Authentication is not possible. So there is somehow somehow I would say like a paradox, right? Paradox. If you want to allow it, I mean, password file is sensitive, therefore it should be protected. But if it is protected, then each of you cannot access it. If you cannot access it, you are not verified. to log in. If you are not logged in, then there's no nothing, right? Therefore, it should be open, right? Instead, it should be open. So therefore, it is open. Instead, this password file is a shadow. All the password file here marked X. So it is not really password, right? So that is somehow marking with the X mark was only after lots of attack happened, right? So in other words, when I was a student, you can attack other systems very easily. Okay. So did I do that? I think you can guess, right? All right. So cut is another thing. From this here, this is a long list and long columns. Can I see only the files like a first cut minus D, that's a delimiter based on colon. Can I see the field? This is a field number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I see only 1 and 5 from that password file so that I can see who. See here? Therefore, I can see only 2 columns, John Yoon, something about John Yoon. MySQL, there's a MySQL server. Where's the PI? PI here, PI does not have the physical names. Reporter, here Mercy Reporter. Gaza. Remember, this is the user ID that I created as a demo. So if you want to do 1 and, for example, 7, then you can see something else. See here, JU can use this shell, /bin/bash. And some others different, right? No login, which means there is no, this guy liked DM bin/false, then no shells. Okay, somebody has a shell, like bash shell for JUN and bash shell for reports, right? MySQL, there's no shell. If there is no shell, then although you log in, not much that you need to do, right? Access from backdoor with the shell, then you can do anything that you want. Even if there is a backdoor, no shell is provided, shell is not provided, then that hacker can do only limited access. Only something that is allowed can be seen. You see the difference? Shell, then you can do anything. Remember that all the Linux command that we are working on right now, possible if you have a shell. Although you have login ID, login ID is not really, it is a big matter, right? First, you have to log in. Secondly, we have to check whether you have the shell or no shell. If you have the shell, then you can do so much things that you could do. If you do not have a shell, then very limited. Only something that is allowed can be done. Okay. So that is another good command line, right? If we want to see, right now we do not have many the users, but if we have, for example, million users, can I see the list of the login ID and whether that person has shell or not? Then you can do cut minus D colon minus F 1 comma 7. Then you can see two columns. First column login ID, second column shell. Okay. So cut is very, very useful command. Any question about shell? Okay. AWK and SED. Anyway, I will explain that. But AWK comes from the acronym of those three developers, inventors. Okay. For example, one of these guys, Peter, and it's the last name, AWK, last name. SED is not acronym. S is for substitute, E for edit, D for delete, something like that. Okay. So let's see, AWK. Practice more about AWK. Try this. AWK from data.txt. What does that mean? We need to find out data.txt. Can you create a data text? This is automatically that you can create data. Remember that here's a redirection. Less than sign, less than sign, less than sign, and finally greater than sign. Greater than sign, then all before those, whatever the outcome will be stored into this file name, data.txt. In that way, we can create data file. This is automatically generates. Look at this. We need to see what is a shop. Let's see. Let's see. Shuff is generate random permutation. That is a shuff, like a shuffle. Random number generates. I want to generate random number integer from 10 to 99. How many? 15. So, for example, if you do shuff random number generations, I want to generate integer from 1000 to 9999. And how many of those? Give me 5 of those. Then it gives me those random numbers. That is a shuff. Okay. So we use this shuff. Random number only 2-digit random number, and the next one is 3-digit random numbers. How many? 15 of those. And then I want to print A through O that is 15. That is a string. And followed by \n, which means after this I want to make a backslash, I mean the new line. So what happens here, if I want to copy this and do here, paste and work. And then when I do data.txt, data.txt, just created, right? So what is it? What did I create? So cat data.txt, I created 3 columns. First column A, second column 2-digit number, third column 3-digit number. Can we create this kind of data randomly, quickly in one command line? Yes, you can. What is that? That is this, right? Paste means like zip in your Python. You guys already took the Python, right? May not be done zip pretty much. I'll show you. I'll give you a hint what is a zip. Okay. So zip. Let's say A equals I would say Angel, and then even, and what else? Enough. One last Ariana. This is a list in Python, right? So I made the A. A is those 3 students, 4 students. B, I would say any, I need to do this very careful. Any number, right? I would say your cash currently how much you have. So I would say Angel has $45, Evan has $21, Anaf has $77, Ariana has $57. Okay. So I have separately, yeah, 4 names and 4 numbers, so that I can assign in that order. What should I do? I need to do zip A and B. Okay. So let's say C equals zip A and B. Then what is a C? That is an object, right? Can I see that C? Yes. So Angel is 45. Angel has $45. Evans $21. Anaf $77. Adriana $57. Right? 2 separate lists can be correspondingly matched. That is a zip in Python. Okay? Similarly, there is a called the paste. Okay, paste. What paste can do is there is an example here. Oops. I want to do it here. Okay. So I have a paste and echo minus E. Minus E means, I want to show this. If you paste those, let me first do this. Echo Alice new line, Bob new line, Charlie, then it gives me that, right? But if you do echo and minus E, then it shows minus E means enable interpretation of backslash. Okay, what is a backslash? Backslash means, I think I explained that to you. That is an escape character. So if you want to say, when I do here without minus E, then everything here echoed, right? This guy think everything in this double quote, they are all string. If they are all string, they don't care, whatever that, simply echo. But if you say minus E, then if there is an escape, then give me that escape, whatever that escape character means to be done, okay? So like this, minus backslash n means there is a new line. Similarly, if you want to do minus t, I mean backslash t, and here backslash t. Backslash t means there is a tab. Write one word and tab to next, jump to next tab and write that word and jump to next tab. That is backslash t. So backslash n for new line, backslash t for new tab. If you do this, then it gives me tab, right? Alice tab, Bob tab, Charlie, right? So we understand what this means, right? This is echo of those, and another is echo of that, right? Paste means that is exactly the same as zip when I explained it in Pythons. So it happens like this, right? Like this. As a 90, new line. 85, new line. 88, new line. But this is a one echo. Oops. This is a one echo. And there is another echo. But if you do paste, then line by line, they are matched like in zip in Python. So it returns like this. That is paste. What I was explaining here is to make a new files, like data files. We made data.txt very quickly. Remember that here? Using this, create files very quickly. If we have a file, okay, then we can print, for example, first column and third column only. Okay? So we have data, cat data.txt we generated automatically by issuing this one line of a command, right? And then we can do, from there, awk within quote, I want to print $1. First column after $3. Third column from that data.txt. Okay? Remember that data.txt is this, the 3 columns. But if we do this, AWK, for this data.txt, I can manipulate the columns by using AWK command. What I want to do is to print first column and third column. Okay? So if we want to do, for example, third column first and the second column, that's also possible, right? Third column first and second column. Or backward, third column first column and second column. Oops. Yeah. The AWK. So I explained that. There is a zip. Sorting. Sort unique, I think we looked at that earlier, right? File, oh, this is good. File gives us the file type. If we want to see, for example, I have lots of files here. So can I see what it is? File dot Raspberry Pi dot img. Raspberry Pi img. What file is it? What is the type of this file? It gives me. That file is DOS MBR boot sector partitions. So this is not the same as, for example, file.data.txt. Data.txt, there's ASCII text files, right? It gives me the file type if you use the command type. Similarly, stat, it gives me statistics of that files. So file here, stat data.txt, it says here more, the file is txt, size is 135, 8 blocks, and then access 644, that is by number, access control. But in real, the index indicator of that access control, this is dash RW dash all dash dash all dash dash, right? That's a 644. And then access, it was created last evening, right? And modified this morning, 9:52, changed, and it was first created both yesterday. So it gives me more about that file information, right? This is handy, right? For example, in your infrastructure, you assume, hey, there is a some hackers intruded last night. I want to see But I know there is some file modified. Then by looking at that file name, then you may be able to see when it was modified, right? Timestamps there. String. If there is a binary files, if you want to read it, then you can use strings. Binary files, you cannot read it by cat, right? Of course you cannot. Let's see if I have any. Downloads, oh no, nothing. There's no image files. So I want to save that Mercy University logo, save image as, for example, the logo head, SVG. Okay, that's fine. So I want to say download. Is it download? Oh, here, save. Okay. Okay. So in download, I have a logo dash header.svg. So if I do cat, SVG is a text file, therefore it can be read. I want to see binary files. So if we want to, if there is any JPEG files, for example, let's say this is looks like image files, so I want to save this. Save link as, not save link, save. Oh, this is block. Image is not. I think site secure, we can download something. Let's say save images here, save. Okay. Let's see what is the type of that. Oh, there's a JPG. Okay, good. So that is image files, right? Binary files. For example, if we want to see head NSA logo.jpg, the JPEG files, rather than cat, I use head only, so that I want to see the first 10 lines of that files. Then that is a binary files, right? But if you want to see if there is any strings in that JPEG files, you can find out, right? Strings, that these are the only text that associated with it, right? That's what it is, string. Show printable text in the binary files. That also very useful for the cybersecurity investigations, of, for example, forensic investigations. Okay. All right. Next. Yeah, this line. I wanted to explain this. Just practice. This is a lots of pipe, right? So you need to understand that I explained it here in global levels. Find the sudo command in history. If you want to find the sudo command in history, then you may be able to use this. Then I ask you to explain about this. Same thing, the other. Okay? So this is another homework assignments. Just for your practice. But if you copy and paste of those quickly, then you may be able to see what it is. Quick, then it shows like this. What happens here is that there's a sudo history. If you see history, then you have all of this. History of my command, it shows. Right? All of my history. From that history, and do something. Therefore, I have a list. I have 4 times of this command, 3 times of that command, things like that. Or as far as those are using sudo. All right? But I want you to explain in more detail. Like, I want you to explain this, okay? Simply explain as much as you can. Just practice. Similar to the other. Grab, cut, sort, unique, sort and all. All right? Let's try what is the other. This is oh, there's no syslog. Yeah, it's not. Although there is no syslog, but command is still valid. Let's see what we have. Instead, there are lots of logo files. So I want you to look at master log. So that is data. I think it is okay. Master log. So here, rather than syslog, last log. No, nothing. Put log. Put logo. Put dot log. No permission. result. What is the last log? No, nothing. Yeah, I think you can use some others, like put that log instead of that. Yeah, only put that log. Let's see. Sudo put that log. Column is not really clearly defined. Cut minus D and space based on space. Oh, there is a based on space. And then field number 5. So in this case, field number 2. I would say this may work if we use put dot 3. Here only we need to change here. There's no fifth field available, so minus FT. This space okay, and then there's no syslog, so we have put dot log dot 1 permission. Put the log dot 1. Let's say this is 1. No, nothing error. Oh, grab errors. There's no errors, right? So grab started. Starting. Then I have this, right? Starting that. So I would say if you do this, then you can use similarly. Yeah. Depends on the availability. For example, if you have a F5, then is there fifth columns, fifth, sixth, seventh? F and dash means after fifth columns all the way to the last columns. And then this grab errors, if there is no errors, like this put dot log, there is no error messages, only starting. So we made the starting. So I would, if this is not available, I would ask you to do this. Remember that I explained a little bit of those already. So those things needs to be addressed. Okay. I think this is it. This is it for today. Any question, comment? So a little bit sophisticated commands that we learned today. Because we learned all basic commands already, and we build up more for sophisticated scriptings. So next week, as I said, we are not going to meet here. That will be asynchronous online. I am going to record my lecture. That specific topic, regular expression, that requires a little bit of the concepts and the formalisms. So I will record it, and you can check it out anytime that you want. And then we will meet 2 weeks from today, which will be the last lecture from me. And also we're going to have a review sessions for your final exam. For those who are late, our final exam will take place in 3 different days. So you guys need to come all over 3 different days. No, only 1 day. There's an option here. Final exam dates, May 5th, May 12th, May 15th. You choose one of those days. As I said, originally from my syllabus, I set up May 5th, Monday, but universities ask us to meet. If it is a Monday class, we have to meet May 15th. So I was trying to push your final exam to May 15th, but some of our students already booked their airplane tickets. Therefore, some issues to accommodate everybody, I should set up 3 days for your final exam. So you choose one. You can come your chosen day. 9 o'clock, our final exam starts 9 o'clock for 90 minutes. Right here. It'll be paper and pencil exam, no electronic devices. You can bring your 1-page cheat sheet. There's no restrictions of font size. You can write whatever that you want on that 1-page cheat sheets. Double page, fine, but only 1 sheet. Okay. Types of questions. Most questions are multiple choice. A few true, false, short answer. For your final exam, you need to let me know which date that you want to choose. If you already decided today, you can let me know while I am checking your attendance. Angel, did you decide which date that you want to come for your final exam? You can tell me today or at latest our last lecture, which is April 28th.
Okay.
Not yet decided?
No.
Okay. Evans, not here. Anaf? Not here. Linarius? Did you decide? Not yet. Ashley?
Here.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Darshan? Why you guys do not decide? Gregory, did you decide? Dimitri is not here. Andy is not here. Alexandra, finally you decide? Federico not here. Obaid. Oh, you. Oh, yeah, you. Okay. Did you decide?
Yeah.
Fifth, right? Yeah. He's one of those guys. Fifth. He's going to fly. Fly on 6th? 7th. So you will take 5/5, May 5th. Okay. Obaid, Yosef, Juliana,
I'm gonna do the 5th.
5th?
Doing the
5th. Good. Ariana?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay. So 2 students already decided. So 5th, if no one choose any particular days, then I'm not coming and you don't come here, okay? Don't come here abruptly with no notice, okay? We have 3 days, probably 2 days, right? Or all 3 days. But I'll be here all 3 days. You should hear only 1 day, okay? All right. See you in 2 weeks. See you next week virtually.